Go live. And I'm going to copy and paste this to a couple places since apparently I can't figure out how to do this correctly.
We can Google it tomorrow and I'll see if I can find something.
Yeah. Okay. We are live now.
Okay.
And just a moment, we will introduce the show. I messed this all up and I thought I was going to do it right. I thought I was going to connect us to the actual live we wanted to be on, but I did
Well,
not.
the best laid plans of mice and men.
Yeah, I did not. Um, but welcome to Cousins Critiquing Content. I'm your co host, Rblomstrom, and I am the pretty cousin who is here for literary analysis and fun. And in the name of Chicago, I'll something you keep your eyes out. I don't know.
And I am your other co-host, Zach Bird, who did not come up with anything clever to say like Momoro, and in the name of Tampa, sunshine on you.
Sunshine. Next, we'll just have Reese come in here and Care Bear stare. So
Yeah, or
I
just
think we're,
start barking.
yeah. But sorry, we will get better at technology. I was doing it before. I started a theater company, the Quarantine Queens Theater Company, and now Rachel Batten has taken over the technical side, and I'm losing what few skills I had developed. So I'm going to have to start doing it some more.
It is true. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, it's definitely true. So, this week we are returning to our discussion of Sailor Moon. We are into season 3 on Sailor Moon S, and I have caught up at least through season 1 of Sailor Moon Crystal, which is the newer version. So we'll talk a little bit about that. In a little bit, we'll let you know we did watch the first 5 episodes of Rick and Morty, so we can go ahead and talk a little bit about what we've seen and the trajectory of that, but it'll just be really brief, and we'll wait till the season's over before we give like a full review. And yours truly did watch a few episodes of the Chilling Stories of Sabrina, I guess is what it's called.
The Chilling
Um,
Adventures of Sabrina.
yeah, which we'll mention briefly also. And what did you watch again?
I watched more of Hitman Reborn.
Right.
It's been really fun. I've been enjoying that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, last time we talked about Sailor Moon, we had just finished season 2. So, do you want to give us an overview of what's happened up till now for season 3?
Sure. Let me get my notes over there. Do-do-do.
Oops. Oops.
All right.
I
So far, first thing we met the new enemy, the professor guy who just you see his goggles. You see his not goggles, his glasses are just kind of like this.
Oh yeah.
His face is like shadowed, but the glasses are bright. He
And
looks,
that big red inside of his mouth with no teeth.
yeah,
And it's always like the shape.
he looks like a very cool evil
That's the
guy.
shape, right?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, it's like down in the middle and then up on the
it's a
sides.
it's a smile of emoji. If the smile emoji was like evil,
Creepy, yeah.
yeah.
But I still enjoyed trying to make the face.
So yeah, we met him in the first episode of the season because now we're dealing with a new type of monsters, the daemons, um, and they are going after pure crystal hearts,
Pure,
uh,
well,
pure hard
talisman.
crystals, pure hard crystals.
Yeah, well, inside everyone's pure, like people who have a pure heart have a pure heart crystal, and inside the pure heart crystal, they're looking for 3 talisman.
Yes. So
Also, and the daemons are born out of a vial that this scientist
no,
created.
yeah. Then they turn to like a seed. Then the seed plants itself into something and transforms it.
And we have to talk about some of these monsters because they are just the best.
Yeah, they are. Um, Okay. And we meet his lab assistant, Kayla Knight. She's pretty prominent for most of it. Like, she's not as active as like the next, the Witches Five, who actually just like, they don't mess around with it. They just shoot the hearts out and like
Yeah. She made like a heart bazooka rocket launcher or something and just wow and get that done. So not all that stupid having to trick people into giving their heart energy and like waiting overnight for it to take in like
No, yeah, they did it quick. Like they just shot
in
out,
and out.
and the monster is just there for support, like afterwards.
Yeah, and to give her some time to get away.
All right. We are also introduced to two new Sailor Scouts. Uh,
Spoilers if you have not come this far.
Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune.
Yes. And
And
Sailor Uranus is the prettiest boy on the whole show.
like she's giving like Momo a run for his money. Like,
Oh yeah. Sailor Moon kind of forgot she had a boyfriend for the first episode that she met him. Haruka.
yeah. So each one of them kind of fell in love with Haruka,
All
and
of them, yeah. It was nice too because they had a little bit of questioning their sexuality and like no judgment, like, oh, I didn't know maybe I would be attracted to women and whatnot. So I thought that was really beautifully done and something as subtle as that is lacking from modern TV.
yes.
But
Um, okay, so we meet them, and we meet her name is Michiru, right? Michiru Kaio. She is Sailor Neptune. So Michiru means to rise, and Kaio means Sea King. So her name is pretty much the risen Sea King.
oh,
And Haruka's name is Haruka Tenno, and Haruka means distant, and Tenno means like king or sky king. So her name translates to distant sky king. And you can kind of see that with her personality because she can be kind of
also her power, world shaking tremors, like
yeah.
and just like a in like this big bulbous orb world shake. I don't know. That's pretty. That's pretty OP.
Their attacks look really dope. Hers and the Neptune's deep submerge. I was like, man,
Yeah,
Ami, you gotta step it up a little bit. Like
yeah.
something else using that water motif a little bit better.
But they do seem older, like at least 2 years older.
I think they're the same age.
I was thinking they're the same age as Mamo.
No, I think I
Because
was
they go to
checking
high
out.
school, right?
Let me see. They were. I have it pulled up right here. They are. So I think they were 16 and 17. Let me check.
And then all the Sailor Guardians, are they still 14?
No, they've aged a little bit. They've had some
15.
time pass. All right. Sailor. Okay.
Oh.
Seem to be in pain. There we go.
Oh, so I did want to go ahead and like I went back to my 90s theme. So that's why I thought I've been like really watching them rock out to like different styles. That is like a really fun detail for me is how stylish they keep everyone on the show.
Yeah.
Though not everyone has good style. I would say Jupiter has the best style.
Yeah. Ami kind of dresses like an old woman
Yeah.
sometimes.
And Usaki, like she wears that pink frilly shirt every once in a while, which is very like 12-year-old girl
Yeah.
90.
So that they are 16.
Oh, they're 16, okay.
Yes.
And
Because
then
there's
Haruka and uh Machio, what is it?
Michiru.
Michiru are 17 and 18?
No, they're 16.
Oh. Well, why are they so much taller and more
They're
mature?
they're elites. Yeah, remember they're also elites because they have money, which has been
Mm.
pretty evident like throughout like their whole appearances.
Yeah, like it's a new car or motorcycle every time we see Haruka.
Yeah, Haruka is in an expensive hobby. She is a racer, and you have to have some cash to be involved in that sport.
Yeah.
Just as vehicle maintenance, and she has a dirt bike. She has her actual
She's got
um,
like a
her
Porsche
racing bike,
convertible.
a racing car, like yeah, and a regular car. She's got some cash, so she's doing well, and so is Michiru too.
With yeah, with all those the violin lessons, like that's an expensive kind
Yeah,
of like reflective of higher society. So yeah, that makes sense. And something else to know about Uranus is very cold, and so is Neptune, but I think maybe not quite as cold, um, because their mission is to get the talisman together before the bad guy can, and by doing that, if you remove the talisman from the person's heart crystal, they will die. And um, like one episode, we even see Uranus abandon Neptune because she said to and to stay on course of the mission. And if it weren't for Sailor Moon, they never would have gone back and rescued her.
that was the episode with one of my favorite tropes, and when like the two good guys get like handcuffed together, uh,
Oh yeah,
to work together and figure out how to beat the enemy while attached to each other.
yeah,
Love it.
yeah. That was pretty great. Which monster was that?
It was a tire monster.
A tire monster.
Yes, it was a tire monster
That's
because they were
correct.
gonna. It was going after because she had run a race and there was a bunch of dudes there that were like, "Hey, you're a woman. You shouldn't be able to beat us like that."
Yeah,
I got all pissy at her, and
and she's
then
also more handsome than they are.
yeah, and then like the one dude like they just knock it off. Like the one dude they respected, like knock it off, and they just kind of scattered. And then they attacked her later, and
Yeah, they chased her down, both of them.
yeah, then they get something. Was the bus or whatever they're on turned into a monster? I can't
Um,
remember what. I remember it was a tire monster. I don't remember what the tire was from. Um,
I think what like the car they drove there. Oh no
yeah,
no no no! They took bikes, or did they take a car? I don't remember. Whatever. It's a tire monster.
yeah.
Do you remember the sound it made?
No
I think that one was vroom.
room. Yeah, okay.
My favorite one is scarf, scarf.
No, the scarf monster. That's the one where like we see the legs running across the screen, and like, hey, and you see like the high pitched laugh. Like,
But
I
oh,
remember I busted out laughing when I watched it. It was pretty hilarious.
actually, this season has really hit its stride because it is so funny, and Chibiusa comes back from the future because her mom told her to go back and train. So for me, at a certain point, I was like, oh, well, then I guess we know it's not going to be that dangerous, or they're going to come out all right if she was sent back in time to go train. And we're
But
what, 19 episodes into the season, and we still haven't found a single talisman.
found
And
two
they're
of
like,
them.
bust, huh?
Found two
Oh,
of
yeah,
them.
they just found it.
Yeah.
Yes, we just, yeah. And I called it too, because we got up to 18 without him. And then, yes, and then episode 19, I think it was, of course, it was in Uranus and Neptune. Of course it was.
Yeah.
I,
I
because
mean,
they deserved to be.
if it wasn't any of the Sailor Scouts, it had to be a named character. You're not just going to throw it on some random nobody if it's going to be something special.
Yeah, yeah. But we still don't know where the third one is, and Sailor Moon has already been checked.
Yeah,
So,
and
but
also
Princess
have
Serenity
all
has
the other Sailor
it.
Scouts.
Huh?
Venus also have all the other Sailor Scouts, but Venus was saved for last.
Yeah.
Um, to her
And it wasn't,
chagrin.
yeah, it wasn't them. Oh, have
Yeah.
we tested Chibi Usa yet? That's probably who it is. I don't think we have.
Yeah, but she's from the future.
What a way to hide it.
I guess so.
I don't know.
Um, okay, being the last Sailor Scout we haven't met yet.
Um, well, so we've met, so yeah, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. We haven't met Saturn,
Yeah.
Uranus, Neptune, and then Pluto's the lady outside of time, which makes sense because she's not a real planet.
Yeah. And she showed up this season too, the episode where we find out the talismans and Neptune and Uranus.
Yeah, which I found kind of strange. Like it seemed kind of forced to bring her there. I'm not really sure what they're gonna do with that.
Maybe because they're the outer scouts. Like the inner scouts are the ones, the main five, and they're the outer scouts, so they're coming together for
So,
something.
so is it possible then maybe Saturn's the one with the other crystal?
Possibly, if we ever meet her.
If we ever meet Saturn.
I think we're not
Uh,
going to next season.
yeah, so basically very little plot-wise has happened in the season so far. It's just been a lot of fun bits, and especially once Chibi Usa came back and is, competing with Usagi for Momo's attention. And, you know, it's kind of weird. Like you mentioned, it's called the what, Electra Complex?
Yes.
Um, which Momo, is like there's no weirdness coming from his side.
Yeah.
So that's good. But at the same time, he doesn't discourage it ever. Like he puts everything on Usagi as if Chibi Usa is not being intentionally disruptive to their relationship. And I mean, she's like 7 or 8 years old. So I mean that happened, but you would expect Mamo to be the person to you know, tone it down, not just ignore it.
Yeah.
Get a real parent.
Yeah, but they're not parents yet, though. They're parents to be with their child showing
Yeah.
up
But
in front of
he
them.
was very paternal, like
He
immediate.
was. He
Yeah.
was. Maybe he doesn't like being a disciplinarian.
Yeah. Maybe.
He wants to be
That's
the
gonna
keeper.
but without intervention, like when does Usagi get some respect? I guess when she's Queen Serenity.
I don't know.
She was so much nicer to Queen Serenity.
Chibiusa has been fun, but she's also been like, why are you so disrespectful to your mom, your future mom?
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
I will remember this, and when you are a child,
Yeah.
yeah,
But it seems like in the future, she's like super like polite to her mother and listens and doesn't seem to be a brat. So
yeah.
maybe it's like a bunch of pent up anger she has at her mom in the future, but she always like acts straight. So she gets to go back in the past and annoy her before she learns some self control, I guess.
I guess so. Like maybe
I
she's sending her back to her future self to raise her, so she doesn't have to deal with her for a while.
Yeah, that's what I would do. You made her, not me. I know future Rachel is a way better person than current Rachel. That is for sure.
Yeah,
Future selves are like so idolized in our brains. Like, you know what? I was real lazy today, but tomorrow I'm going to do everything. I'm going to get up and work out at 5 in the morning so I can start my day when the sun rises. And then I'll have more things done before 9 a.m. than most people do all day.
yeah.
But that's not today, Rachel.
Yeah, yeah. Future me is successful and has his stuff together. Current me, no, he doesn't. Like,
Yeah. Future me has a catamaran and has already crossed the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah. And pirated something maybe. So maybe I'm not going to become a better person.
it depends on what you pirated it.
It's true. It's true. Something should be pirated.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
We're going
Good
back into
pirate.
our One Piece love.
Yeah, well, I'm already wearing my Zoro shirt.
Nice. I'm just wearing a hot pink, very clueless colored 90s style
Mine is
choker.
kind of a floating head type thing. I should just turn off the lights and just have a
Oh
black
God,
wall.
no,
Just be a floating
no.
head. All right.
So,
So we had like spotlight on each of the characters, like Ray and her relationship with Uchiro. That was
no.
name. Um, so like he was concerned with her because she's been staring into flame, trying to decipher that prophecy.
Yeah, and that's been going on for a very long time.
This is the first episode, and did she ever talk to anyone about it or mention
No, nobody knows.
it? All right. So he was concerned about her because she's been so focused on that. Um, Usagi kind of misinterpreted it and thought it was a because she's trying to see the future on their relationship. So it kind of got his hopes up, and then there's like him a big justice thing with him and Haruka because he saw Ray talking to Haruka, and he mistook Haruka as a man because everyone does at
Well,
least.
Haruka is, short hair, often wears men's clothes.
Yeah,
Uh,
he dresses like a man.
I knew it was a woman immediately because of the voice,
Yeah,
but it definitely could be a teenage boy's voice. So,
yeah. So in the original English dub, they actually Haruka was actually a man because they didn't want to do a show a lesbian relationship uh, on TV, but they were also cousins, so they were okay with incest. But
sounds like America.
yeah, they were okay with incest, but lesbians, nah, that was too much for them. You
What
sound
about the
young.
gay couple
Oh.
in season one, Kunzite and Sephrite?
That was Zoe site. That was kind of edited out.
I I guess. That's so sad. It was such a loving evil relationship.
Yeah. Well, it's there now.
Yeah.
It wasn't there in the original English version.
No. Well, now I want to get into Sailor Moon Crystal in comparison. And I
Okay.
have some points I want to talk about. Uh, Obviously, I do not prefer the newer season. They took graphic upgrades, which arguably, like, I don't actually prefer the animation.
I don't. It's
I don't,
too bright. It's too glossy. I kind of liked the
yeah.
softer feel of the original series.
Yeah. But what might be considered an upgrade was not an upgrade to me. And it seems like in place of that, they decided to just take out the personality, the fun. Like Usaki only tripped in the first episode and then never did anything clumsy again. And her first fight was reduced to just crying. And Mamo is kind of rapey. So those are definitely some points like to talk about. But yeah, animation wise, it's got that really weird doll thing. The legs got really long, the eyes got even bigger, and all of them have the same exact face shape and nose. Like there was a moment where it was just like the profile of all of them, and it was literally just the stamped face. And they just changed the hair color.
Yeah. Apparently, this is supposed to be a more direct adaptation of the manga. Because in the original, the manga and the anime were released at the same time. So that's why you had a lot of stuff added in to
That was a good idea for field
yes,
fillers.
because they pretty much started within like months of each other. So like everything was just pretty much like waiting for the next chapter and just adding stuff and making it work with the release material.
Man, those writers did a great job. And I was reading that the fillers were often a lot of the fan favorites, which, after watching something like Naruto and Bleach, like I just skipped a lot of it. It was like I got to get through this to get the good stuff. Whereas uh, some of the best stuff is in the fillers.
Yeah, like the rainbow crystals in season one
Yeah.
are the
The relationship building.
yeah
Like
the
it was so rushed in Crystal that I just 13 episodes and all of a sudden they're all ride or die so fast. Like woke up yesterday. And my God, not I know Reese. Not only is Mamoru and Usagi together, but now instead of these four independent kings from the Dark Crystal Kingdom or whatever, now they're all the exact boyfriend for each of the other four guardians. Like we lose this beautiful gay relationship of evil, and like they were independent and they were brother. No, the other two are brothers, right? I don't remember.
they weren't really related. They're just
Yeah,
all
but
same group.
then there we go again, trading them in for personality and just pairing right up,
It
like overtly
it
heteronormative.
it really means nothing anyways because they're season two. I mean they're gone. So like they
Yeah,
don't
but why do
they
that?
they actually still show up though. They still show up. They are, but they aren't really
Yeah,
with
and
this.
they are Knights of Mamoru. So
Yeah,
Mamoru,
they're just kind of like spirit things now. In season two, like I think season like I don't know. I had some, of course, I had those problems. In season two, I had it was a little bit better, just
well,
because
I'm not there
because
yet, so
I'll say it's season two is a little bit better because it didn't have that Usagi and Mamoru breakup
oh good. Because that was
storyline.
just so unnecessary. We got one episode of them being loving, and it's like we need more than that.
That
Uh,
was the worst. So I think their relationship looks a little bit stronger in season two.
good.
And then what they showed, as I said, that's the one big improvement is that they did cut that off, which no one liked that. I
Oh,
think I
good.
was,
Yeah.
um,
So then also one of the big things is I feel like we lost so much personality. Like except for Ami, somehow Ami felt like a more complete character than like season 1 of Sailor Moon, the original.
yeah, I thought the same thing too. I thought she's probably the one who benefited the most. Um, because in the OG series, she just seems kind of like the typical nerd
Yeah.
character. All
And
the
I
characters.
still just love what she said when they joined battle. Like she would be like, "And I'm here too." Like, all right, we get it.
All right, you're more than an afterthought on me. You don't have to say it like that.
Yeah. Well, she was an afterthought in the first one.
Yeah. Even though
Uh,
she was the first Sailor Scout that was introduced, besides Moon.
yeah, you would think we would get more of her, but nope.
No. We got more of her this season. I think this season, like she had some real good like character arcs, like her thing about being more than just an academic
Yeah.
personality. And Usagi kind of feeding into that and kind of pushed her away a little bit because she was agreeing with like their vice principal who told her that she just need to focus on herself and put her friends beside her, and like Usagi's like maybe I
Yeah.
am holding her back. They ended up kind of hurting Ami's feelings, and
Yeah,
uh,
because she felt like she was being distanced, um, like between them and being pushed out of this close friendship. And I mean, that would be scary,
yeah,
especially to somebody as like shy as her. Like, it's not like she's gonna get away from them and shine. She's gonna just isolate, which is what happened.
but
Oh,
her
never
and
mind.
Neptune had a race,
Yes.
and the one she let Neptune win the first time somehow, and they ended up tying. Then Neptune, of course, noticed that and called her out on it.
Pretty harshly, too.
Yeah, and yeah, Ami was pretty upset about it. That's when she went to go talk to Usagi, and they had that talk at the study session. Then
Yeah,
she
so
ran
she's
off
already
again.
hurting.
Yeah, then she ran off to I guess she or had a rematch with Neptune, and then tried her hardest and still tied.
Yeah,
Um,
that was weird. Like I was expecting her to like beat her, but I guess Neptune was also holding back, and so they were just trying to. But which is weird because she had to have the talking to um, by Uranus. Like, why'd you do that? She was just trying to make friends with you. Like you just totally yelled at her. And she was like, "No, I was encouraging her."
Encouraging her in a very roundabout way.
Yes,
Yeah.
while insulting her and yelling.
Yeah,
But
I guess they couldn't have one winner since they're both water
right.
type.
Yeah, and you would expect Neptune to actually be better since they seem more developed.
Yeah, she seems stronger.
Yeah.
Maybe that's only in her sailor form.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, and
so
she
yeah,
does a lot of things. She doesn't just swim, so.
true. See, we talked about Ray, we talked about Ami,
Yeah, Ray's the only
Mako.
personality. Well, Ray's personality, it was an improvement, though she became very bland, but they did take out that abuse. So that was good news. Jupiter no longer is falling in love with everyone because we just got rid of all of that.
She fell in love with that monk. She was kind of infatuated with him. But she's also like
Oh,
wanting to
yeah, but
study. She also was
no,
studying with him.
I don't think that was like romantic attraction. To me,
Yeah,
I was under the impression she just idolized him as a sensei.
yeah, it might have been a little bit. I don't know. It's. I don't think she would have said no, but he's a monk.
Well, he was much older, and there
Yeah.
were, you know,
How,
I mean, it's
how,
a teacher crush. It's not the same thing as like a
yeah.
romantic crush.
Yeah.
That
But
was,
that was a funny interaction. Those two.
yeah,
They,
it was. It was nice to see her be nicer.
especially her in
I,
training mode.
yes, yeah. We don't get that was the first training sequence I can remember in the show.
Yeah, like because she's her whole thing is being strong, so she didn't want to be outmatched again.
Yeah, because
Ready
she
next time.
was getting her ass kicked a few times.
Yeah, so she got to re hone herself.
Yeah. Um, and Usagi is, I feel like we lost a lot of her personality. And she got much more generic. Uh, she cried, like, I don't know, her crying and her clumsiness was just, I don't know, it was something different. And I just don't feel like it was enough time to even get to know the main character, honestly.
Talking about the crystal.
Yeah, back in Crystal.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I'm sorry. We just jumped back from.
Oh yeah. Oh, because I had some points and I thought that one was off.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So I wanted to talk. Yeah, the other part was in three, but um, okay, my bad. Yeah. For me, also going back to the personality, lacking in comparison with three. So we lost that of Jupiter, where we see that kind of cool stuff, and especially in season three, but season one, two, as well. And Jupiter's just the redhead, and like I feel like she's just reduced to the redhead in Crystal, and Usagi. They're all just so
she's
minimal.
got more abilities in
Right.
because
She just
yeah,
is super strong right off the bat and started
yeah,
turning into Queen Serenity. Like her hair just.
yeah. I mean, I'm talking about Jupiter too because she also had her plant abilities like pretty early on.
Yeah, they were all stronger. Um, Ami was already using one of her more advanced things, and Ray was already using the fiery mandala, so which was not her original move.
Yeah, her was it that
The curse
crow?
breaking.
Yeah, you remember the names better than I am right now. Okay.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. Do you agree? Like, did you like Usagi better or worse?
I she didn't have as much. I would say you're right. She didn't have as much personalities because she wasn't as we didn't have those episodes that fleshed her out like we did in the
Yeah.
OG series.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I think it was too short. And also, Mama's kind of rapey in Crystal. Like, he kept kissing her while she was passed out before they ever, like, actually kissed together. And when she passed out one time, he took her home to his apartment instead of her home, which was, like, okay, I get that we're showing this connection between these two people, but also we're showing little girls the show, and that's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know that she did like the Sleeping Beauty stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe Usagi herself kind of romanticizes that. Um, so
Yes.
that's just kind of the character too.
Yeah, but he's not that creepy in the original Sailor Moon. But he does start out kind of a jerk in that one. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think showing like while it has been romanticized, it is technically sexual assault because that person is not conscious. That's the only reason I bring it up. I get it's romanticized, but like in real life, waking up to somebody kissing me would like not be romantic unless I was already romantically involved in them.
Hmm.
And they were not romantically involved yet. I don't think they had all of their memories back. I don't know. I
He
don't
had
know.
his memories. He had
It just
most of
makes
them.
me nervous, to show and normalize that for little girls. But that's just me.
Yeah.
Um,
I wanted to mention Monaco because I think she had the best. She had one of my favorite episodes
back in three or in S.
in season three, yeah, in this, because she was the last one to have her heart crystal taken, and she was kind of
Oh yes.
upset about that, and she was kind of embarrassed by that.
And she just really was trying to get caught.
Yeah. And then it was like Usagi was like, well, if she's trying to say she has a pure heart, so he goes, isn't that kind of unpure too? And
Yes. Oh yeah, was it Usagi who said that?
I think it was Usagi who said that.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't know. It's funny though.
it
Yeah.
was, and then when they finally got it out of her, she's kind of looked at it, grabbed it, like so excited, like yeah, it happened to me too.
Oh yeah, I think that was the most fun we've had with Venus.
She's
Because when
too
we
much.
first got her, she was like so put together, and then we find out like she's a little dingy when it comes to remembering sayings, um, and then she's not very good homemaker.
Or
So
nurse or caretaker.
yeah, no, not good at that.
You get a volleyball.
Yeah. Well, she's good at sports. She's very athletic and elegant, but
Yeah.
like unlike Mako, she's not good in the kitchen or in a home or taking care of things.
I think she's one of the funnier guardians. Like her and Usagi are the probably the funniest.
Yeah. In the new one. They weren't and that's the other thing that Crystal lost. The humor. There was no fun. There was no humor. But yeah. It's been an interesting season, and and I gotta say though, now that we've brought Chibiusa back and she's got her own heart attack, it's like holding a little lollipop or whatever, and it just
Yeah.
kind of like annoys people. And she is brave as shit. She keeps facing them anyways.
Yeah. She was raised in that lifestyle too. Like
Yeah,
her mom is the Queen Serenity, and her guardians are the Sailor Guardians. So
yeah,
she's a trainee.
yeah. But trainees shouldn't be going off by themselves to face demons.
No,
They
well, her mom thought she was ready, sent her back,
Yeah,
didn't fight this
that's
battle.
true.
I
But
mean,
I'm sure, like, it wasn't in the plan to have her fight by herself. she sent her back as a trainee, meaning she needs a trainer.
Well, mostly she's been with the other Sailor Scouts when she's gone into a kerfuffle.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking of when she ran ahead and um, and Usagi had to like come through all the bushes
Oh,
and brush
yeah,
and
yeah,
couldn't
that
get there in time. Like that's what I'm talking about. She had run on ahead.
was
But that Damon was just like squatted down and like
that was the art one
it was a lamp. Well, I know it sat on her. It might have been an art one. Oh
because
yeah.
she had that episode with the her first love. So she went after her first reintroduction, after she saved Moon and Mars. We see her in the next episode, and
And that episode was hilarious because Chibi Usa was looking for love. She thinks she's back there to find love. And then we land on this like gyrating kid in the park.
yeah,
That's weird.
that's the episode after she's reintroduced.
Yeah.
And so we meet the kid gyrating kid. Yeah, that's funny. Then we meet the tea ceremony guy. I have his name here. His name is, after all that,
I was trying to pull up I had stored the monsters of the week and I forgot I forgot where I stored it. And I forgot to have it open before we started.
Tommaso
Um,
Burrow. That
what is
was
it?
the Tommaso Burrow. He's a young practitioner of the tea ceremony. So she fell in love with him. He's the one that has we're doing the team ceremony. He's also balancing everything, had an expensive cup. So she fell in love with him. She saved him, and then like he redid his tea ceremony. Because was it I am Sailor Tamaro, and they end up like running out of the shop after that. Um, then she had an art class, and he was in love with Michiro. She was in love
Yeah.
with
And that
the
made her feel better because everyone's in love with Haruka.
yeah.
I was trying to. Well, I can't find. They're not in order. I'm sad because I wanted to remember all of them. Oh, Auto Baiko.
Was that the tire monster?
I think so. Yeah. Um, but these aren't in order, so some of these aren't. Oh, Doorknobber.
I had one here from episode 108, or was it 108? It was the monster from 108 because it's like don't cackle when you run. Because that's right, he was one of the characters cackling while they're running, and they started having a coughing fit.
Oh yes. Which one? Which one was that?
That was
What
in
episode was
episode
it?
108.
Oh, no, I was thinking one of my favorite ones was Doorknobber, made out of the door, if you remember this character.
Yeah, I don't remember which episode that one
It's
was.
103.
103.
102, I'm sorry.
Oh, 102.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's when they stole Sailor Moon's heart crystal.
Is that who? Yeah. Man, I really did make a thing, and I should have just handwritten it. Um,
I made a small summary, but I didn't include the monsters' names in here. Yeah, I remember some of them, like the scarf one from
yes, the scarf one is just still my favorite, and that was a Minako episode, right?
it. It was
The,
the snow because it was the yeah. It was a because she Mako episode because she got the scarf from Haruka.
oh yeah, and just like huffing on Haruka scent.
Yeah, she wanted to return it to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, so it turns to when turning through a car, and then it turns to like a monster. And that's when it stores heart crystal. Uh,
Well, and also the car got turned into one as well in one of the episodes.
yeah, it
Right?
wasn't that episode.
No, it could. No, no, no. It's not that episode.
The one you're talking about is the one with the mechanic,
Yes.
which is
Yeah.
a little bit earlier on. Before that,
Yeah, I'm all out of order today. I think because I was just really thinking about Crystal and how much I just like I did not I didn't like it.
that's fair.
I just I if I had watched that first, I'd be like Sailor Moon sucks. I probably wouldn't have finished it either,
No,
honestly. I mean, it just moved too fast. I
didn't let
didn't
the
care about
introduction.
anybody.
Yeah, you
And if I oh
need to let them breathe a little bit, get a feel for the characters instead of just bam, 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 introduction, 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 and that's it.
yeah. Yeah. So I haven't watched Hitman Reborn yet. Oh, that's pretty much all we got for Sailor Crystal because we're not finished yet,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I'll have the monsters of the week next. I'll find my list next time. I can't remember which Google Drive.
I'll try to put that in my notes with the
Yeah, yeah.
first introduction because I didn't. So we didn't say what talismans that Neptune and Uranus had. Uh,
Oh, right.
so the ones that they had were the space sword, which was in Uranus, and the deep aqua mirror, which was inside of Neptune.
Yeah, and we don't know what. Well, I know what a sword does.
Yeah,
I don't
I know
really
what a
know what.
mirror does too.
Yeah, I know what a mirror does, but I don't know what an aqua mirror does.
Oh, we didn't mention Sailor Moon's new transformation.
Oh, right. And her new move too.
Yeah, because she got a new transformation during this saga. She actually got two new transformations because her that was the first two episodes. Her brooch gets breached, um,
Oh,
and she gets a new brooch and a new attack.
yeah, and that's
Uh,
the spinning heart attack, and then
yeah, so
like lands on her knee.
she doing a little Mario type pose. Looks like
And Chibi Usa kind of mimics that a little bit, though
with
she
this,
just kind of leans to the side with her leg.
with this hers is the spiral heart attack, I think. For
Sugar coated heart attack.
yeah, sugar coated heart attack. Then in after Uranus and Neptune's talismans get discovered, the next episode is when Sailor Moon gets her new transformation into Super Sailor Moon.
Super.
And it's like the biggest drastic change in her look from compared to like the all her other transformations. It looks kind of dope. I kind of like it.
I am having trouble remembering what it looks like.
It's kind of like a white, more of a white outfit. Her she has like these things in her hair. Not the meatball things, but these other things that are on her hair. You can probably find an image real quick.
Yeah, pull on. These websites are always so full of. Oh, yeah, I guess I should just go to images. That's how this search works. Um, oh, with the little three things in her hair?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I remember this. I
Yeah.
didn't think it was that much different looking.
It looks well. I mean, the color of her skirt is different. Her skirt's
Oh,
different.
well, no, it just gets ribbing. It's called ribbing, red ribbing on like the trim.
Well, her other one was blue. Her other skirt was blue.
Okay. It
So she has a
was.
so she has a different skirt color. She has the three things in her hair. Um, I think that her shoulder pads look different,
I guess I just well this
and
looks
she has
like
that.
she doesn't have any shoulder pads. It looks like her arms are bare. And it's
One
just
of
got
them,
like three little, well, I guess they could be called shoulder pads to a guy.
I don't think that was a thing in the 80s and early 90s with the people having the shoulder pads in their outfits.
Yeah, I did not need shoulder pads.
Diane
I'm
had
like,
them. our Aunt Diane had them. She had them in her work outfits.
Yes, I remember.
I think was it 9 to 5 popularized that.
Probably. I don't know.
But they had okay. That's all we had on Sailor.
Okay, well, I guess that's the difference. Like I didn't think it was that much different. And so that's why I didn't remember what you were talking about. I'm like, it was pretty.
Are
So,
you looking at them side by side now, or
no, I didn't have a side by side. I'll put them.
okay?
Um, like the only thing to me that really stuck out was like the tiara coming back and the little thingies.
Yeah, but yeah,
So
it's a bit different.
yeah, I don't know what it's gonna make eventually. It looks like it's like a partial of something.
Maybe, maybe.
Maybe.
So hopefully, like this, of course, like it bumped up her power a little bit.
Yeah.
Guess that's all Usagi needed was more power.
Yeah. Yeah. She needs more. Well, according to how strong some of these things are, she does.
Yeah. It was wild that the first Marches remain okay. Oh, we're having so much trouble with it. Like, didn't you just beat Wise Man? Like, who had like
Right.
it was like he seemed like more powerful than a lot of the monsters we've seen this season.
Yeah, he literally destroyed whole towns. He was destroying the world.
Yeah. Apparently these new guys are stronger.
Yeah. Well, they always got to be stronger somehow.
Power scaling. It's kind of a foreign word for Sailor Moon.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like whatever needs to be done, Sailor Moon is somehow going to pull it out from deep inside her love hole.
Don't call it that.
What's wrong with a love hole? Okay, sorry. That was inappropriate. Um,
And that's
I
why
meant hole in her heart where Mamoru fits and then makes the crystal inside of her. Okay.
so
Was there anything else we didn't
you're saying
cover?
Mom repeals her love hole?
No, stop it.
Okay. Okay.
The love fills love holes. Love
Okay.
fills. Okay. Okay, I feel better about that. Okay.
I don't really have anything else. I think I was pretty much covered everything from part one.
Yeah, we just got to we've had a lot of fun with the characters. It's just had a lot of breathing room.
So far,
Fully.
we've only lost like one major bad guy, the Kayla Knight. She's gone, and then we get the Witches 5 people now. And Witches 5, dope
Yeah.
name.
Yeah. So excited to go ahead. How many more episodes are in this season?
I'm not sure. Let me look it up real
Mm.
quick.
We're not quite halfway done yet, though, I think. Or we might have just hit the halfway mark.
I think we're at the halfway mark. So we're episode 112, and it goes to 27. So we got 15 episodes left.
Okay, yeah, just a little past halfway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
guess the halfway mark was when they lost their talisman? Or when they found their
halfway mark. Yeah. Pretty much when Sailor Moon lost her power. No,
Yeah.
Sailor Moon's heart got taken. I think that's the halfway mark.
Yeah. Well, all right. So tell me about Hitman Reborn with and I can deal with some spoilers, but like you know how to
Okay.
not ruin it. Spoiler. I think it's interesting. Like so many people are afraid of spoilers, but they've done a lot of surveys on people's level of happiness and how well they thought a movie was. For people who did have it spoiled and not have it spoiled, and the general level of satisfaction of having some things spoiled was actually higher because then they kind of knew what they were looking for and it was exciting.
I think there's a difference between what happens and how it happens. Like if someone tells me what happens, okay, I can deal with that. But if they go into detail on how it happened, that's a little bit more ruining the story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, that's the way I like to
Because
see it.
I could tell you, season one, Sailor Moon finds all the other Sailor
That's right.
Guardians, and then they end up fighting a bad guy in the end, and they all
Yeah.
die.
Some people will consider that a spoiler, especially like,
Well, if I tell you they all die, yeah, for sure, that's
yeah.
a
Oh,
spoiler.
so Sailor Moon's finally see the Guardians. Spoiler, like,
Yeah. I, that is not what a spoiler is. That's
yeah,
the synopsis is. They're literally going to list the characters before you can read the script.
yeah. It's a character name is not a spoiler. Um,
Unless we find out they have a secret identity.
oh, they're in this movie. Spoiler. Like some MCU fans are kind of like that. Like, oh, I know he's in this now, so spoiler. But they're kind of insufferable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we're not talking about the MCU. We're talking about
Hitman Reborn.
KO Hitman Reborn. So far, I am on episode 120, I think.
Dang! Blowing
Yeah,
through it.
I am blowing through it. I've been having fun with it. It's been like the first part of it. There's a huge tonal shift, like in the first 20 episodes. It starts off as like this kind of gag series with jokes, and then it turns into a battle shonen going forward after all the main characters are introduced and his family introduced. So when we go from there. I've gone through the first two arcs. So the meeting arc and the Kyoko land arc is where we meet the seventh member of the Von Gola family, who's introduced to us as a villain.
I'm a
Uh,
little bit lost. So, can I get a little plot so I know who I'm being introduced
so
to?
the Von Gola family is the mafia family that Suna was born into that he didn't know he
And
was born
soon
into.
as the main character?
Suna is the main character. Tsunayoshi Sawada. He
Born
is
into the world of mafia, the Matadora family,
Von Gola.
Mongola family.
Yeah, Von Gola
Okay.
family. So he didn't know he is the 10th heir of the Von Gola family. He doesn't know anything about that. He doesn't have anything to do with that.
Heir
Uh,
to what? Like just being in charge of this
he's
clan?
being a mob boss to become like the mob, yeah, the mob boss of the take over from them. So he doesn't want anything to do with that because the mafia. Like,
Right.
yeah, he's a teenager. He doesn't want anything to do with the mafia. So
What does he want to do?
uh he's in love with this girl, and that's he doesn't really want to do much. Um
Kind of like what Usagi wants, just to be a normal kid.
yeah, he was kind of a bullied kid. Think like,
Ooh, that's some brave ass bullies.
well, he wasn't the family ties only come into it till after he meets Reborn. Reborn is
Oh,
the tutor they send to him. He is a baby who wears this pacifier necklace. There are seven of these babies. The Arcobaleno, it's like the rainbow and Italian. So they used to be adults and they were transformed into babies. Don't know why, don't know how, just know it happens. So
I don't know why I just keep picturing Junior from Yu Yu Hakusho.
he's like, yeah, he's about that size. He is that size. Except he wears a fedora, a suit, a tie, and he has a lizard that turns into a gun. They
Yeah, I
named
remember. And then the hitman has a sword, right?
Yamamoto. He's the flame. He carries the the storm ring because they each have these rings too. Um, Suna's wears the sky ring. So the second arc is them fighting a battle over these rings. Um,
What was the first arc? Just like him coming of
Introductions.
age story
Yeah,
and
it's pretty much introducing the characters. So Sawada is Suna is the mafia boss. Goku Dura is his right hand man whose weapons is explosives. So it's kind of fun because you don't really see that used as a main weapon, either guns or bats or
Yeah.
sword. You don't really see a lot of people just throwing TNT around.
Yeah. True.
So he's a self-proclaimed right hand man because he's the only one with like previous mafia ties. His sister, who's in love with Reborn, is also in mafia. Like I can
So
pass.
by the end of the season, does he end up doing something for
Yes.
the mafia?
Well,
So he's getting roped in.
he ends up. Well, yeah, he ends up beating Mokuro, who is like the main enemy at the end of season one. He's the one who becomes the Vongola mist ring holder. Um, he
And
has
he
like
wants to take over, is my guess.
he wants to get back to the mafia. He has some beef with them. He has this eye that has like these 6 stages.
Revenge.
So one of them was like mind control, possession. He can fake his death, illusions,
Dang.
and physical durability. And so, and he also uses his weapon to scratch it. So if you get scratched with his weapon, you can become possessed. And like, so Suna's first big battle was with him. And
So soon as wait, he's the kid who doesn't want to be the mob boss, right?
Mhm.
Okay, because you called him the mob boss earlier. So why is he fighting if he's trying to avoid it? Is this for the mafia?
Because he's been targeted by
Okay,
Mokuro.
so it's all targeted, and he's trying to just be like, I'm not part of this. Leave me
Yeah,
alone.
and they came after his friends. So he brought himself into the conflict because his people had been targeted.
Got
Uh,
it.
so he learns this new. Um, he starts off as this wimpy character. Reborn shoots him with these. Like I said, when I originally read it, it was the dying will bullet, and in the anime they called it death inspiration bullet. So he gets shot with that, and in the earlier season, he goes into this. It's kind of like this beast mode, like this super gung ho, like I'm going to do this and until I die or something like say something like that.
Just
Um,
a die hard for
yeah,
fighting.
yeah. So it brings out his fighting spirit. He hones that during the first season, and it becomes kind of more. He comes more like goes from like that hyper one to more of a more calm, uh, cool, collective person. There's another thing that the Von Golas have. It's called this super intuition. So it helps them read a
I have
scene.
super intuition.
Yeah, well, not like
I
Sawada.
just I just ignored it a lot. So don't look at like my dating history or record or some of the people I chose to be friends with or some of the other questionable choices I've made in life. I knew they were all feeling like I shouldn't do it, but I had to test my levels of intuition before I could get there. And they are really good. That's, you know, obviously.
Yeah, we all have it. It's okay. So he has a super intuition, which helps him, like in his battle with Mokuro, because he's able to helps him see through his illusions, and also when someone's been possessed by him, he was able to tell pretty much instantaneously that they are not in control of their body. And I'm trying to remember how he beat him because he was trying to possess his friends, but their bodies were like already like beat, so they couldn't really make any movements.
Yeah.
I think he cut him off somehow. I'm trying to remember because
Well, don't tell too much. I just was trying to understand the overall plot. I don't know how he killed him.
oh yeah. Then Then we go into the fight for the rings. So we meet this other group called the Varia, who are like the the special forces for the Vongola family, and they are led by the ninth son, and believes that he is the rightful heir to the Vongola family, and he wants to fight Suna over it.
That's what I expected. A rivalry.
Yeah.
A
Uh,
rivalry and an arch nemesis out for revenge.
yes.
The
So
great
Zash,
combination.
he's a pretty insane character guy. He all he cares about is victory. He doesn't care about what he has to do to get to it. He doesn't mind sacrificing his men. He doesn't mind who he kills to get what he wants.
Yeah.
Um,
Sounds like a psychopath.
yeah, and that's pretty much the only reason that Suna is fighting him, because he doesn't want a guy like that to be in charge of anything.
Yeah.
Um,
Sounds like Nobunaga fighting for the clan. Actually, that is the story of how Nobunaga Oda came to power. It was inside the family, and he was chosen over his younger brother or his older brother. His older brother didn't really want it, and so there had to be a series of moves, and he killed some people and took over. Or maybe it was the other way around. He was the older brother, and everyone wanted the younger brother. Either way, the brother ended up dead.
yeah. From
And
what I
so
heard, from what I heard, they didn't want him because he was rude.
yeah, because he was an asshole.
Yeah,
And was always fighting. Um, yeah, I know they didn't want him. I just didn't remember who was the rightful heir.
yeah,
And then the other one was, of course, very stoic and studied. Classic Japanese um, leader qualities. But yeah, yeah, that's how somebody's got to get their head chopped off. I know that's how that story ends.
yeah. It doesn't. Well, he doesn't get his head chopped off, but
Okay. I don't
it,
know. That's how I know the story.
it's pretty dramatic. So of course, it's a seven, not 7-on-7 fight, because they fight each battle different night. So each one gets a ring. One of the rings goes to this 5-year-old named Lambo, who's super annoying, but he becomes the guardian of the Lightning Guardian. Um, but he has this thing called the 10-year bazooka, which he uses to switch out with a future version of himself.
Oh
So
yeah, kind of like Sailor Moon.
yes, kind of like that, except he goes to the future, and future him comes to the past, has no clue why he's there. Uh, so he can be in the middle of a mill, then he just shows up and it's a battle.
Well, I guess I hopefully in 10 years in the future he's not a fighter anymore because they could just be switching fights.
Oh,
Don't
so he ended up like the 10-year-old.
tell me, don't tell me, don't spoil it.
Okay, I would say, all right. So
Don't spoil. These are my guesses. I don't know what's going to happen.
all right.
But I could see you're really excited, so I will catch up at some point.
Okay. Then there's Sawada, not Sawada, Sawaga, Ryohei Sawaga. He's the guardian, the Bongola Sun Ring. He is a boxer, so the boxer types always kind of like like super into training, super devoted into their sport. He's that
High
type of guy.
energy, yeah.
Yeah. So he's the guardian of the sun. Yamamoto, he's the light not lightning guardian, the storm, not storm, the rain guardian. He uses this sword style that's been passed down through his family. And it has like 8 forms to it.
Well, don't tell me.
Okay, well, I'm just saying that there's 8 forms to it. That's basically odds right there.
Yeah.
Goku Dara said he uses explosions. Hibari, who's kind of like the badass of the group, the strong, silent type who just shows up to clean house.
Well, they all sound like badasses, honestly.
Yeah. Hibari is like the strongest one. He's the one who
Oh,
uses
okay.
he uses tonfas as weapons.
What are
He's
those?
tonfas. The one, the hand right there, the bar, like right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he uses those as a weapon.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's a unique one, and he's badass with it. He's the cloud guardian, so he's kind of like on the floats on the outside, but still part of the group. And Chrome Dokuru, she is the guardian of the mist, and she has a connection with Mokuro Rokuro. Um, I know I want to say Mokuro, but I know it starts with an R. It's a Mokuro Rokuro. And so he is able to use her body. Like, she doesn't have any internal organs. She's lost
No,
them.
you're spoiling again.
This is this part. This
Oh,
is her character
oh,
introduction. This is like how
oh,
she's
okay.
introduced.
Okay.
That's how she's introduced. Like when we meet her, she's in a car crash.
Okay.
After a car crash, and Mokuro like shows up, and he uses his powers to like illusion powers to like for organs. So like illusionary organs.
All right. Well, I think I have enough information to know that I want to watch the show, but I don't want to know too much, like more details.
Well, yeah. After that is the future arc. They go into the future.
Got it.
Yeah.
That always sounds fun. Yeah. Speaking of going to the future, I have really got to try to finish the final season of Shield. They have been bouncing around time. So, for a few years.
Maybe that should be our next one. The last 2 seasons of Shield, because I am
Yeah.
behind it too.
Yeah, catch up. I've watched like first couple episodes. But within we also watched Rick and Morty. We watched the first 5 episodes, which I was really sleepy. So I also need a little bit of brain jogging on what they are. But so far, overall, I am really enjoying it. I actually think Rick somehow seems like less of an asshole. He did have his nemesis show up. And that was pretty fun episode, Mr. Nimbus.
Yeah, Nimbus. Yeah, the Namor type guy.
Yeah, the sea god, the sea god.
Yeah, Jerry and
Oh yeah,
um, I'm drawing a blank on his. Why am I drawing a blank on her name?
Sharon. No, I knew it until you drew a blank. Why did you do that?
I don't know.
Uh, the Summers, the daughter.
Yeah, I don't want to say. Wow. Yeah, but so Jerry, Beth,
yes, Beth.
Jerry and Beth,
Sharon.
both wanted to hook up with him.
Well, he invited them to an orgy, and they are suddenly a sex positive couple.
Yeah, so yeah, that was the first episode of the season. And Morty had Amber over.
Yes,
he was trying to because he kind of came clean with his feelings for her.
Yeah, because he thought he was about to die.
But then he kept on going to this cross-dimensional place.
Yep, and it was an amazing story. I loved it because it was like time transfer. So he developed a time vendetta with these people, and it was a lot of fun, honestly. And I think we get to see this whole new warrior Morty come out. He's like trying to be nice. He's like, all right, I'm not fucking around in life anymore. Sorry for my language.
That he went in there, cleaned house. Then they came and kidnapped Amber. She was held hostage for a while. He was able to go in and pretty much wipe them all out.
And she's a time god now. She existed for a millennia.
Yeah, so she like, maybe I'm done with this.
Yeah, it was pretty brilliant.
Yeah. But then the next episode was the decoy episode.
Oh, classic, like almost body snatcher style. Like, when do we find out who's the real one? Family, because he's been creating decoy families. Rick has, obviously.
And the
Uh,
decoys, some of the decoys are going out to kill the other decoys.
yeah, yeah. But I don't want to tell too much because that story is just really well done.
Yeah, it just kept on getting more and more chaotic.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um,
I thought it was all right. I didn't love it as much as it
it,
felt like it felt like some of the episodes from the earlier seasons when they kind of had similar thing, like when they did replaced their or like the Cronenberg episode where they kept on going. They turned themselves into like monsters, the Cronenberg monsters. So they went and replaced
oh,
the family. Kind of felt like
yeah.
that.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. That kind of storyline for me can be so frustrating because, like, remember when I was watching the end of season 2 Bleach, and I'm like, I have to get through this, and nobody's believing him, and everybody's been blah blah blah, and I guess we shouldn't worry about spoilers. People shouldn't listen to us if.
Well, this season's been out for a few months now.
Okay, good. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess because I usually cannot stand like the body snatcher or like who's the real one, whatever, because it gets, for me this one was fun because I didn't feel stressed out watching it,
Yeah,
so it was nice to see
because
not being.
it didn't matter who the real one was because they're all
Yeah,
pretty much say they're all copies. There's no real one.
but we already knew that there's like infinite Ricks, and I kept thinking about that, like, because how, like, all of the multiverse.
So now there's infinite rips on top of infinite ricks.
Yes, and infinite Ricks have created infinite decoys and have created decoys, and
Decoys,
like,
decoys.
I mean, just the expansive universe of these people existing.
They're all in different cities across the world.
Yeah, and the multiverse, because remember, there was kind of like that can only be one type thing going on. I don't remember what season, but. Oh, and then there's Planetina,
Which was
who's
the
like,
next episode. Yeah.
yep, Planetina. And she's basically
Actually,
like an ecological superhero.
this is probably my favorite episode so far was this one.
Yeah.
I thought this was pretty fun. Because I mean, you get the Planeteers there who are kind of sold out,
Older,
older,
tired.
sold out. They were going to sell Planetina off because they were done with her. They
Yeah.
pretty much milked her for everything she was worth. So they turned her from this planet guardian to this corporate shill, or try to turn to a corporate shill like they were. But Rick Morty saves her from that. Like he takes out the Guardians and they weren't Guardians,
The
Planeteers,
ring holders.
Planeteers,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. He really just had a crush on her and like, oh shit, she needs to be released. She's basically a prisoner to these people.
yeah, and she likes him too. So
Yeah. And we're just casually, brutally murdering people, and a beautiful relationship blossoms.
yes, and then she goes crazy. She doesn't hold back anymore. Like she's seen what's happened, and she's like she's gone full like eco terrorist. Uh,
Yeah. I don't blame her.
yeah, I mean she's killing a lot of people.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
You
if
gotta
we
crack
could
a
be
few eggs.
selective about which people, though.
You got to crack a few eggs to make a natural omelet. I don't know.
Yeah. And it was just really tough for Morty because he was really in love with her. And oh, and then Rick and Summer visiting planets. And somehow it seems almost like Rick falls in love with this lady who's just hitching a ride because, like, they're
Yeah,
going to apocalypse parties.
yeah. That was the B story, right? Uh,
Yep. And that was pretty fun. Though, luckily, it didn't get too much time because it could have been overdone. Um, Oh, this next episode called
oh,
Rick Pendant Rick dependence spray, which is the horse breeding episode, of
Yeah,
course.
it's so fun. It's the
And
silliest
all of it
concept.
is just Morty fucked
Being a horny
I had sex
teenager.
with the horse breeding pump and and everything goes out of control.
He tries to like, oh, I don't know how it could happen. It's 100% horse semen in there. No human contamination at all.
Yeah, trying to volunteer at Beth's job.
That was probably like the funniest setup for an episode. I don't remember much besides
Yeah.
besides the setup, because I thought it was
I
hilarious.
can't remember actually. We'll have to yeah, that's the last episode we
That's the
watched.
last episode we watched.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was all because I kept thinking this is a big ruse to get Morty to admit that he had sex with this machine just so he can embarrass him. That's what I've been thinking is going to happen because that sounds like something Rick would do. Just like take something to the crazy extreme until Morty just admits what he's done. But I don't remember if that's what happens.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it. I think that was the last episode we watched, and we are pretty
Yeah.
tired by that point.
Yeah, we play drinking games.
Yeah.
I don't
And
remember specifically if there was a game going on that one, but yeah, we didn't like it wasn't a planned out episode watching for to talk about here. So, but it's been fun so far. I've enjoyed it, and I have, it's not been as much Rick hate this season, like because sometimes he's just so despicable.
yeah, and self hate. He had a lot of self hate. I mean, this one's kind of calmed down a little bit.
Yeah, but he also hasn't really been the main character.
No,
It's been
it's been like a
Morty.
lot of Morty.
Yeah.
Which makes you think we're going to get like more. Maybe we'll get the evil Morty this season that we haven't seen
Maybe.
for a long time.
Yeah. Multiverse.
The one that we left off season 2, the one who never killed his own Rick.
Yeah. But I don't remember why he became the enemy. Just because he's evil and he's there can only be one, I guess.
Yeah, he always
Or maybe they know that they are the main Rick and Morty because there's some sort of like fourth wall meta portion that we know that it's their story we're following. Like in some sort of like, not to go into too many theories, because I haven't looked any of them up. But what if the reason all of the multiverses are going after them and want them is because they know that they are the main storyline somehow.
How do we know we're following the same Rick and Morty from episode 1 that we are now? Like,
Yeah, I've also considered that. And that's the fun thing, they've killed so many of them, and like Morty's not the original Morty with this storyline.
No, because I mean, because they killed that family, they just kind of took
And,
over the spot.
and he buried one in the backyard. Like they just took over a new.
Which Futurama did it first.
Yeah.
When Fry, Bender, and the professor went to the future, they went all the way back around and ended up killing their own selves and took their place.
Yes. And Futurama's going to have a new season, right?
Yeah, but John DiMaggio, who voices Bender, is having a contract dispute with them right now.
Oh, do you know what the dispute's over?
Money.
They don't want to pay him what he's worth?
No, they don't. And now he's like, either pay me and the rest of the cast the same, or I'm not coming back.
Yeah, why would they?
Oh, the cast is already there. He's the only one hold out. But now they're saying if he comes back, like he wants to get paid this amount, and he wants his fellow cast members to get paid an equal amount because they're all equal parts. Like Katie Seagal.
Nice.
So, and John DiMaggio, he does a lot of voice work.
I hear that name a lot.
He has a very distinct voice. So you can tell him easily if they replace him. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think it would be enjoyable to suddenly change the name.
If Bender had a different voice, and it wasn't like blessed off by the actual voice actor, like he's too old or too sick to play him anymore. But he's still healthy. He's still working. So I feel like they should, if they
I
want
wonder
to.
if they're trying to underpay him in comparison with other jobs he has.
Voice actors are so disrespected. They're in the acting group. They're probably the most disrespected group because they think they're pretty interchangeable, which I like some from voice actors more than regular actors, and
Which I'm getting into voice acting.
yeah, and I think voice actors bring a lot more experience than you would get from like a live action trying to do a voice actor. Like I said,
Absolutely. I
like I
mean,
said, I
and
watched.
it's also sometimes a little heightened as well to make sure like the emotions driven home.
Yeah,
Whereas you can have like in live action, you can let the face betray things, but you can't really let your voice betray things. Your voice
yeah.
has got to really send it.
Like I was saying like last week about Batman Year One, like Ben McKenzie, his like delivery was just so flat for Bruce Wayne. Just seems like kind of uninterested, like so it really pulled
Yeah.
me away from the story. A good voice actor can keep you into it, draw you into the characters. Um, yeah, I think it's a underappreciated part of
You know who is a fun voice actor?
yeah.
Cardi B.
Cardi B.
I haven't watched the shows that she's done, but I've seen some of the animation with her voiceover, and my goodness, it is hilarious. She is so good. I mean, she's Cardi B, so like they're not having her, play somebody she couldn't, but I
Yeah.
don't know. I thought she was really funny and just out of the way. But yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Um, well, do we have anything else to cover? I think that's about it. Oh, I did watch the chilling episodes of Sabrina, but I think we're kind of at time. So I can talk about it when I finish season one. Um,
Yeah, we're an hour and a half in right now.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, we can talk about it when you finish season one because that's probably get more complete thoughts. Uh,
yeah, yeah. And
I'm
did
not
you have
rewatching.
any?
I'm not rewatching Sabrina.
Yeah,
I'll
you
watch.
don't have to. And like you tend to like recall it better once your memory's jogged than I do,
Yeah.
because I think I do a lot of like creating, so my brain's generally focused on like what I'm working on in the time, and like TV is kind of when I relax. But obviously, I still take notes.
Yeah.
Um,
I didn't enjoy that show enough to go back and rewatch. I didn't finish it. I told you I got through most of season two. Then
yeah.
I tapped
I
out.
mean, so far I'm enjoying it. It's kind of interesting. It's a little campy sometimes, which is fine.
Yeah.
Um, Sabrina is a little frustrating. She was,
A little.
when she's like gaslighting her friends about the demon possession. Um, but I get it. But yeah, I'll talk a little bit more about it when I get a further character arc. There are things that are frustrating, but they're done for the story plot, which is good.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I like the dark baptism, like antichrist thing. Though on the other hand, like as far as like which people in real life, like they have nothing to do with like worshiping Satan. So it does seem like a little bit of conflict.
I was gonna
Um,
say Salem was a downgrade.
yeah, but I
Like,
didn't really watch the teenage one either.
yeah, well, yeah,
So
you need a
I remember
sassy,
Salem though.
yes, the sassy black cat.
Yes, I
Like
do remember Salem.
Salem greater than Luna as far as black cats
Oh,
go.
Luna's the worst. Ugh,
Yeah,
I hate Luna. And I
that's
hate her in Crystal too. I don't like her,
that's
even though
one that's
she's
another thing.
much better in Crystal.
That's another thing I want to say that Reborn is a lot better mentor slash instructor than Luna is.
Oh, good.
He has actually good advice, and it actually helps shape the Guardian. So Reborn is now way better than Luna.
Yeah. Luna sucks, and like Artemis is supposed to help, and she just destroys him emotionally as well. Like, absolutely the worst
Yeah.
for what she's supposed to be doing. And somehow they pull through despite how disparaging she is, especially to Usagi. But
Usagi's carrying the team. That's what it is.
yes, no matter how much they like dig into her,
Yeah. All
I
right.
don't know.
Well,
I love Usagi.
yeah, we need to get that one more last, bring it back around to Sailor Moon to end the show.
Yes. So we should be done with we'll definitely be done with S by next time. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe they don't put it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Yeah,
short
15 episodes.
episodes.
We could probably get it done in 2 or 3 nights.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know if I want to hang out with you that much though. um all right. Well, I'm Rachel Bloomstrom again, and I do apologize that I lost my list. I was so ready to talk about these monsters. Oh my God, I love them. But anyways, I am also the founder and artistic director of the Quarantine Queens Theater Company. Today you missed a really great show, one of our free shows. It was a night of poetry and speeches for Black History Month. They did an amazing job. It's still up. You can still watch it. So you can find that on our Facebook or our YouTube page. And then also on the 12th, we have coming up our Henry VIII play, which we're doing our slow reveal on who our Henry is. And we did just finish recording the promo video, and I made a music video. I have not even completed the music, but the video is recorded and they had me dance. So fingers crossed for good editing, because I have not danced in so long. And I would just like feel myself so sloppy. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, your hands were sloppy. You weren't pointing your toes on that one, but we were just recording and you only get so much time. So we'll see. And that'll be coming. Huh?
Did you do the Sailor Moon spiral?
I did not. That makes me really, but they did have me spinning a lot. And in one of them, I was closing my eyes and did not fall down. So that's pretty OP, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, so that'll be Henry VIII, and then I believe I've been cast for the just-in-time character, who is, of course, one of my very favorite that I've done so far. He's a comedic noir character who solves crimes in literary history. So, like, we did one where I went and solved Hamlet, and I don't remember what the other one was, but they're fun. Yeah, and you can catch me on News What News. It's on Q4 Radio, that's QUE4.org, or you can listen to us on AM 1680, that comes on Tuesdays 4 to 6 p.m. I'm taking a short break from Bottoms of the Barrel, but that show's still going on and they're still awesome, and that is same channel, same station, but on Saturdays 5 to 7 p.m. So be sure to check them both out. And thank you so much for listening to what I had to say today. Zach, what do you got going on?
Well, I'm going to start doing some movie reviews and releasing them on the channel. I think the first review I'm going to do on is Free Guy. So expect that coming up this coming week.
Awesome. Yep. You'll find it right here on this channel.
Yes.
Will you be doing live or pre-recorded?
Pre-recorded. Just because I think
yeah.
I'm talking to myself, so it's a little bit.
It's always nice to be able to edit out those because I think we had a couple of them tonight, and I was just like, dang, I didn't have all my notes. I had
next time I have better notes.
Yeah, we did last time. We had better notes the first 2 episodes, or whatever.
It's all good. I mean, I had a bunch of stuff written down. I just had to find the information in here because we had 20 episodes to go through.
It was a lot.
It's a lot of notes.
Yeah.
So the amount of notes it gives me more like going through back and reading everything. But it was more like a linear laid out. Like
and I don't know. Like, I'm sorry. I was like, I feel like when we're talking about Sailor Moon, like, expect spoilers, and then you're talking about Hitman Reborn, and I'm like, this sounds better and better. Don't tell me anymore. It was funny too because I actually saw a thing pop up on a YouTube recommendation, and I can't remember if it was listed in the top 10 also shows that would make you cry. Maybe it was next to that one.
I'm saying
But
Suna goes through it a lot. He like you see he's one of the better developed MCs out there. When his family's in trouble, he's like feel the stress. He snaps them sometimes, and he apologizes about it, but he snaps like when because he's been under a lot of stress, and a lot of the people are relying on him, and
yeah.
he's not used to that.
Oh, and also I did want to mention I did read quite a bit about anime and the history of anime, particularly reading about the Nazi influence on anime, which is really interesting. So next time I'll give a little short lesson on putting together like the history of it and how we got here from classical. That's not what it's called, but from well before through like a manga style stuff and
Did it bring up Momotaro?
yeah, that'll be in there. Yep, that's in my notes. I just haven't finished putting together that little short lesson for people like me who don't really know, and that's why I've been watching, Age of Samurai, and
Yeah.
I want to know more about the history of Japan. It's the country I've spent the most time in outside, well, no, Germany and then Japan. So, and they are forever linked because of World War II. But yeah, that'll be coming next week.
Yes, and I've been in Japan very long in my heart.
Yes. And that's why I need the boat. And I'm eventually gonna circumnavigate the world going all along stuff. And at some point we gotta get Zach to Japan. And I was there in the military and then briefly after I got out of the military. But yeah, I've never really just gone and experienced everything. Though I did go to the 47 Ronin temple before that, well before the movie came out. I just picked stuff and went and visited, and that happened to be one of them. So, yeah, I really liked that area. It was really nice. There's a lot of history. Okay, you need to go to Tokyo, is what I mean.
Yeah, I do. I need to go to Tokyo or Japan or
Kyoto.
Okinawa.
Yep, I've been there. Did you know Okinawa has an aquarium that is the only aquarium to hold a blue whale? I don't know if the blue whale's still there, but they have the largest aquarium in the world, big enough to hold one.
I didn't know that.
It's terrible. But whales need an ocean.
They do.
Also, did you know orcas kill blue whales together? And it is horrific. It takes them a whole group of orcas 3 to 4 hours of slowly eating this thing alive.
They're living up to their name. It's not just a cool nickname.
It is the scariest thing in the ocean to me, though. Supposedly they don't attack humans, but they've started attacking fishing boats because they know what's going on now. So I got to get a big enough boat. I'm gonna need a bigger boat.
Are you gonna name it? What was his name? Ship's name in Jaws?
I don't remember. I'll tell you though. One of the scenes I remember so much was that little banana boat they were on, in the water.
Paddle one.
It was a banana boat they were on while they were near the shore, very near the shore. And I just remember that I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but I remember that scene so viscerally and being afraid, they can't even hear the woman screaming, "Get out of the water, get out of the water." And I'm just like, oh my God, this little kid's gonna die. I don't know. One of the scariest things to me ever in growing up watching stuff. So
that's a film. I need to rewatch it. It's been a long time.
Yeah, do a new movie review from a new lens.
Yeah. Maybe I can go back and go back to a movie I hated.
Yes. Well, it's always interesting to go back and see, things through your adult eyes versus younger eyes. I go back sometimes and I listen to some music that I thought was awesome, and I was like, they hate women. I was singing this song, and this song, is very clearly violent towards women. And I'm just like, but it was a banger.
Yeah.
So you find weird stuff. I tried to watch Spaceballs, and like for the first 10 minutes, I didn't laugh and I turned it off. I'm like, I don't want to not laugh this whole thing. I want to remember how much I love this movie. So some things I think need preserving.
I haven't watched Spaceballs in a long time. I've watched Men in Tights in the past few years.
It's
Uh,
got to still be the best.
it's still funny. It's
My
and
friend Tyler Rack and I in fifth grade, like we practically learned the whole movie forward and backwards, and he was so good at speaking backwards. He started doing it in school all the time and everything, just annoying the shit out of teachers. It was awesome.
that's kind of cool. I was just thinking because they have well, I was thinking of a movie I hated, Meet the Spartans, which is another type of spoof movie. And one of the characters in there were they have a chastity belt joke in that movie,
Oh yeah.
which
How
doesn't
can
make
you
any sense.
spoof a comedy? That's
A spoof Meet the Spartans. It's spoof on like 300. Um,
okay.
yeah, so they were one of the characters wearing a chastity belt, which doesn't make sense for the timeline because Spartans weren't known for being chaste. Uh,
Mm-mm. No, they sure weren't.
no, and I was like thinking about that. I was like, man, Men in Tights did this joke 10 times better. Because I remember like a Maiden
It
Green,
really was great.
it was.
I love that movie. I want to go back and watch it. I don't usually rewatch stuff though, because I'm just like there's so much content out there. Like I don't want to waste my time rewatching something when I could see something new. But
But also, if you really like something, I watched Spider Man No Way Home twice in theaters,
yeah,
like
well,
3 years.
yeah, there's definitely some out there. The first Spider-Man that came out with Tobey Maguire, I watched a few times in the theater.
Yeah, Spider Man
The
2 I watched 2 or 3 times, and I watched it all the time when I got it on DVD.
Yeah, the Batman one with Heath Ledger as Joker. Watched
Uh,
that a couple times in the theater.
yeah, Dark Knight.
I've somehow seen the first, yeah, Dark Knight. I've also seen like the first Harry Potter multiple times, just kind of by accident. I mean, when I was a kid, I used to rewatch stuff, like I just mentioned, like Men in Tights.
Yeah.
But as an adult, I've just kind of stopped doing that. So,
Now I kind of had to give it a little bit of like a time. I won't go back and besides Spider Man No Way Home, which I've watched
yeah,
back to back.
I haven't seen it yet. So,
And now I give like a little bit of buffer room, like Cobra Kai. I pretty much watched the latest season over a few weeks, but I watched the first couple season, the first seasons leading up to it before that, just as a refresher. Because if a
yeah,
new season comes out, I need that refresher because it's a year's past.
yes, yeah.
Kind of same thing with Doom Patrol.
Yeah, that was the other thing. We didn't watch an episode of Sailor Moon to refresh us before this, which is what
Yeah,
we've been doing. So
all right, next week. Um,
the more you know.
yes, Sailor says.
Yeah. Cool. So we've already said what we were gonna do, and now we've chit chatted, and I always like that part.
Yeah,
But I think that's everything. Go ahead and you know like all the things in the
comment,
doobly doo.
subscribe.
Yep, do that. We're on other channels and we will be streaming to more platforms shortly. Just have a short learning curve to go through because I have not been doing the tech, as I mentioned, in my company. So, but yeah, you'll be able to catch us on whatever your favorite streaming platform is. Um,
All right,
yeah.
and have a great evening and see you next week.